pleasure being with you on Counseling Corner today. Our counseling corners are up and running, and I want you to be part of this section. Welcome. Today I want to talk about the over-pampered child or the over-pampered individual. But we're going to narrow it down to our children, students. Being pampered is not wrong in any way. As a parent, all of us want our children to have the best in life. Some of us may think those things we could not have, we want our children to have it. But I'm not talking of pampering alone. I'm talking about over-pampering. Pampering is not bad, but over-pampering is what I'm going to talk about today, because we see most children today, they are overly dependent. They're overly dependent on their parents, that they cannot stand on their own in the real world. And look, the streets are not friendly. The world out there is not friendly. The world is harsh, it's hard. The earlier we get our children to know that they need to stand up to the test of time, the better for parents and the better for these children. I'm going to talk about 7 points why it is actually not too good to over-pamper a child. Pampering the child is not wrong, but over-pampering the child is what we're going to talk about here. One is it creates weakness on the part of the child, because a child wants you to do everything for him or her. So when you over-pamper the child, he thinks it is his right to get everything he desires. No, the world doesn't work that way. Allow your child to know that he or she is not supposed to get everything he or she actually wants. So don't allow the child to create weakness. Over-pampering creates weakness. 2, giving special treatment. You just want everything going for the child. The child will not have the decision-making mind. He cannot stand his ground. He cannot even stand bully of his own peer group. He's just out there running back to you as a parent because he's specially treated. And so when the harsh reality of life hits this child, you see him see himself as a failure. No wonder we'll have many mental issues. Mental health is out there, most especially is affecting our teenagers and our young adults. Though it affects adults too, but I want to help these children to know the harsh reality of life and how they can navigate. Then the third one is they lack resiliency. So teach a child to be resilient in whatever he or she is doing. Help him to stand his ground in life, because the real world, it's tough. Then, to some of these over-pampered child, they are not adequately ready for developmental stages they meet in life or developmental skill. At each stage of life, a child is supposed to have developed some skills, communication skill, decision-making skills, different skills, home chores, things he can do on his own, do around the house. But because they are overly dependent on their parents, you see them not able to perform, not able to do any of those things. So an over-pampered child lacks adequate developmental skills that can help him in the long run. So don't over-pamper a child, let him develop this required skill. Let your child do something at home. Don't leave this work in the hands of housemaids, housekeepers, caregivers, and at the end of the day, the child thinks whatever he wants comes around easily to him or her. And so he wants people to do everything for them. No, allow them to do something at home. Then don't always dance to the tune of a child. A child said he needs this, you must give the child that. Even when you know at the long run it will be detrimental to the child. No. Let's try as much as possible to help our children know that there are times we need to say no. Don't over-pamper your child that you don't want to allow him to take no for an answer. The child needs to take a no for an answer. And then if the child can't accept failure, you see this child, the moment he fails, he thinks the world is against him or her. Allow the child to fail and know that failure is part of life. It's part of the procedure of growing up. So don't over-pamper a child that if he fails, he thinks the world is crumbling. No, let this child grow by doing what? Allow him to fail. Then, lastly, there is appropriate age for development. At each stage, the child gets to make sure the child develop according to its age. A child that's 3 years, there are things a 3-year-old can achieve at home, 4, 5, 6 until he gets to adults. When he gets to adulthood, he learns how to do all of these in childhood, and he can navigate in adulthood. And so please, pamper your child, but don't over-pamper these children. Over-pampering these children is detrimental to them. 1, we talk about creating weakness. 2, over-dependent in their parents. 3, they are not developing skills that will help them in the real world. 4, they cannot take failures. 5, at each developmental stage, they are supposed to learn skills. Another one is allow them to know that failure is part of learning. Don't give over treatment, special treatment to them. Protect your child. Take care of them. Know that the street is not friendly. The world is not friendly. The world is tough. Allow them to be tough. Teach them to be tough. Teach them to learn skills. Teach them to be better children. Don't over-pamper these children. In our counseling corner next time, we're going to look at how there are so many predators, sexual predators out there that is out for your children. How children can handle their mobile devices, how they can use internet. Information overload is out there. We'll look at that in our next counseling corner. Thank you for being part of our counseling corner. If you're an over-pampered child, learn from this point. If you're a parent that is over-pampering your child, look at this point and see how you can correct it. I am happy to be here, and I want us to discuss as friends. Let's see what you think you want us to talk about in this corner as a young person growing. What are the challenges you are facing you want us to discuss? Tell me, we'll discuss it. I'll see you in our next episode. Thank you for being here. Subscribe, share the video. Thank you.